no controversy this time around, nothing to discuss. So, I mean, I'm sure you still want to watch it back. But as you sit there now, I mean, how do you feel about your performance this evening?
It felt good, know what I mean? I won every round dominantly. I thought the first round might have got a 10-8 on at least one scorecard. But, yeah, I've just seen a little stat then. In his last 8 fights, only me and Michael Chandler have dropped him. Know what I mean? So, take good things away from it. I blew me load a little bit at the end of the first trying to finish him, so I was feeling it a little bit in the second and third, but as I say, I still got on top of him and ground and pounded him and dominated the fight, so I'm happy.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk about this being kind of a no-win situation for you, right? I mean, coming into that, did it make it difficult for you this week, like mentally, or maybe to feel like what meant victory for you?
Yeah, of course, but obviously a win's a win. You know what I mean? It goes without saying. But I mentioned it in other interviews, he lit a fire under me at the press conference. Like, going into the Jared Gordon fight, there was no animosity at all. I didn't really feel anything towards him, know what I mean? So it didn't want to bite down on my gum shield and hurt him. But then when I was going into that Tony fight there, when he started talking shite last week, the other day, I wanted to come in and make a statement. So I felt like I did in the first. Obviously, the second and third wasn't as dominating, even though I did just console him for both of the rounds. But, I'm gutted I didn't get the finish. But it's one of them.
You still did give him a lot of respect, though, even though he upset you. You called him a legend. So I guess, were you maybe even surprised or impressed by, what he did show you in there?
Surprised that he got out that first round, lad, yeah. Know what I mean? I hit him with some punches there, a lot of unanswered ones. And I thought that maybe the ref could have stepped in, but give Mark Smith his due. He's one of the best refs in the world. So, and Tony come back out in the second and third, raring to go. So, as I say, it could have been stopped, but it never. But I still won every round, and even though I'm a little bit disappointed to get the finish, I am happy with my performance at the same time.
Nice. Last thing for me, I mean, you're becoming a star here in the States, big Vegas stages, but of course in Europe, it's an amazing scene over there. So what do you see next for yourself? I mean, there's a ton of opponents that can make sense, but are there locations that you would prefer, whether it be here or whether it be at home?
Well, I wanted to fight on UFC 300, you know what I mean? If it would have been announced for the first weekend of April, like the 6th of April, I may have fought on it, but the wife's due between the 12th and the 17th of April. So I'm not missing the birth of my first kids. That's not happening. So I can't do that on the 13th. I've heard there's a show in Manchester in July, rumours of it. So that could be me. It's only 30 minutes from my house.
Paddy, damn it. I know that you're not really in the game of calling out opponents. They seem to be in the game of calling you out. That's no different tonight. Rafael dos Anjos called you out and said he could beat you without a training camp. Is that the sort of name you'd be interested in?
Yeah, know what I mean? He's another legend. Know what I mean? Former champ, just like Tony. RDA is very good. Is he coming back down to lightweight, is he? He was fighting at welterweight, wasn't he?
I think he's fighting Gamrot next.
Is he? What the fuck's he mentioning me for then? Stupid bastard. Focus on what you've got to fight, know what I mean? But yeah, everyone's going to mention me, aren't they? Know what I mean? And it's just because of like the little thing round my name and the fact I've got so many followers, know what I mean? That's what it is. But as I say, I wouldn't disrespect RDA. He's former champ, another future legend of the sport, but he's another one who's getting a bit old now, and if he wants me to take him out, I will.
Did you have a chance to watch the main event with Leon and Colby?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on what we just saw?
Dominated them, you know what I mean? It was too easy.
Do you understand now, like, the fans now kind of turning on Colby because of what he said at the...
Yeah, he's a piece of shit, lad. You know what I mean? I said this the other day myself, he's a proper piece of shit. Like, it's crazy though, the crowd, they were all cheering him on Thursday, and then today after he loses, he gets booed. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, lad. Fight fans are fickle.
Hey, Paddy. You're known to talking trash, but is there a line when you're talking trash?
Yeah, you don't speak about people's dead relatives. You know what I mean? People have mentioned stuff that I've tweeted before, but I've never mentioned anyone getting killed, anyone dying. You know what I mean? In Liverpool, we use the term terrorise very loosely. And it's like, if someone skits you, oh, your ma's fat. It's like, oh, you've been terrored by him there. You know what I mean? We use the term terrorise very loosely. It's nothing to do with anything like that. Even though people love to put words in my mouth. But I'd never, ever, ever mention someone's dead relative. If someone mentioned anything about my nan or grandma, I'd kick them in the face. So I understand Leon throwing a bottle at him. Like, I wish Leon would have snapped his jaw then. So we had to get it wired shut for saying something like that.
The gate was 9.3 million. Attendance was 19,039, sold out. The fight of the night was Aldana versus Rosa. The performance of the nights were Shamil, Lipsky, and Emmett. They all won $50,000. Congratulations to them. I guess before I get started, I'll announce some fights for you guys here. This Miami card is stacking up to be badass. Michael Venom Page versus Kevin Holland. Song Yadong versus Jan. Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della. And Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal. Who's got the first question?
We're just going to drop Michael Venom Page in there? Like, it's a new matchup? I mean, what do you think about it?
These are the fights for Miami.
Very nice. I guess I just want to ask you off the top, Bryce Mitchell, an update for him.
Yeah, he's been released. He's good. Sure he's not great, but he's good. Yeah, he's good. He's healthy. He passed all his tests, and he's okay.
Good.
He's been released from the hospital. And he was like halfway through the show. He was released.
Awesome.
So it wasn't like just now.
Main event, a little bit of a perplexing main event, I guess. What were your thoughts on that?
I guess my take on it is, and you guys can let me know what you think, but when you're 35 years old and or any age in this sport, you're like, yeah, I'm going to wait. Waiting is never a good idea in this sport. This sport doesn't wait for anybody. And I think he looked slow tonight. He got out wrestled. Leon looked good. Leon looked fast. Looked like he had trouble dealing with his speed, and then getting out wrestled too. And not to mention the fact that Leon absolutely destroyed that leg too.
Yeah. So we talk about him waiting. I mean, I think the thought was along the way that you guys were kind of holding him out for a title shot. Were there other fights you wanted for Colby?
I don't ever have anybody wait in this business, man. This is not a business that waits for you.
Yeah.
Your windows are very short, and you never know once you start getting up into your mid-30s when you're going to show up and just not look like you anymore.
Yeah. And then last thing for me, it looked like there was a little skirmish in the crowd today between Strickland and Trickus du Plessis. I guess, what can you tell us about what happened and your thoughts on that?
So what kind of an asshole sits Strickland next to du Plessis? This asshole. That's who. Yeah.
I mean, you actually manually did the seating assignment for that?
I do every seating assignment every week. Yeah.
All right, so that's on you.
Yep.
Do we know?
Fucking stupid is that? I mean, seriously. Well, I don't know what humans you can sit Strickland next to, but definitely not du Plessis. It was. I don't even know how I missed that, and yeah. So.
I guess everything's good. I mean, just shit happens,
Listen,
and we move forward.
This is the business we're in. I say it all the time. Jumped in there, told Strickland to relax, go in the back. He decided to leave, so he left the arena, and du Plessis is good. We were just literally talking to him right outside the door there. So, gentlemen, we are in the fight business, and ladies, we're in the fight business, and these are the things that happen.
Dan, right here.
Hi.
What do you do with Tony Ferguson moving forward? Because obviously he took a lot of damage in that first round, but then he tried to fight back, and I think that's 7 losses in a row now.
I would love to see Tony retire.
I do have to ask. I know you said that we're in the fight game and people say mean things, but did anything this week bother you at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It bothered everybody, I think. Listen, what I say is true. We're in the fight games. Lots of mean things are said, and one of the things that I really don't like is family. When you start going after family and whether it's the kids, the wife, the parents, the whatever, it's just such a nasty thing to do. But again, this is one of those sports where you say horrible things, and then 24 hours later, it goes down. You know what I mean? And that's why tonight you saw Leon's corners going crazy, and I went over and said, guys, listen, you won. You won in the most dominant possible way to win. You out-wrestled, you out-struck, you completely dominated tonight. If this turns into what it could possibly turn into, he's going to get fined. And it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You won the fight.
Last one for me. Do you have to, like, when Colby brings up, Leon's murdered father, do you have to pull him aside and say, like, hey, maybe don't say stuff like that? Because Leon tried to get after Colby at that press conference you weren't at.
100%. Yeah, no, I don't ever tell anybody what to say. You know what we will say? Guys, when you go out on that stage, do not touch each other. You know, everybody thinks that I love when these type of things break it. No, I don't love it. And more importantly, the commission doesn't love it. And the commission is the government. So, no, we don't like this stuff, and we do everything in our power to make sure that it doesn't happen.
Dan,
Yep.
Talking about the signing of MVP, you're throwing him straight into the deep end with Kevin Holland. Is that because of like his age is kind of getting up there? He's 36, 37, I believe, or is that because of how highly you rate his skill set?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things. I think it's his age and his experience, and you know, it's the right fight to make. Thank you.
Danish Gentry, right. There's a popular streamer online called Neon, and he said he was banned from the arena tonight, specifically by...
He said he was banned from the arena? No, what happened is he said some stupid shit on Instagram, and, you know, he bought tickets so he wasn't anywhere close. When you start saying stupid shit like that, yeah, you're probably going to get busted up and thrown out of here, you know, making threats and talking dumb shit, looking for clout.
I believe he said he was going to...
I don't care what he said.
I think he said he was going to confront Donald Trump.
I don't care what he said. Did he?
Well, he wasn't able to.
He's this fucking tall, too. You know that? Fucking punk.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice talking to you.
You've made your feelings pretty clear about PFL and Bellator, but I'm just curious about your opinion about the loss of another major promotion. Some managers have kind of expressed their concern on social media, like there's fewer fights for some of the fighters who are not in the UFC now.
You mean
Bellator?
Bellator going to PFL?
Yeah, Bellator kind of going away essentially.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing for kind of the state of?
It is a bad thing, you know. You guys ask me loaded questions, so that I will.
I'm asking around.
No. I'm not talking about you. You guys will ask me loaded questions to push me and to get me to say what I want to say, so what I will say, so you can get your fucking clickbait that you need and want. But yes, it's a bad thing. It's not a good thing for there to be less options, not only for fighters to fight, but guys who are coming up to have less options. So yes, it's definitely not a good thing.
Thank you.
Yep.
Disappointed to not be sitting up there with a title belt, but after a little while now, how do you rate your own performance, and what was your feelings on the fight?
Yeah, I would rate my performance a 5 out of 10. I could sit here all day and make excuses. I could have zigged when I should have zagged. I could have, it was a timing thing because I was off. But that's not the cloth. That's not the cloth that I was cut from. So I'm not going to make excuses. There's a reason the front window is bigger than the rear view. So it's in the past now. I'm not going to worry about the past. I'm going to focus on what's next. There's a guy that's been talking a lot of shit to me in the media. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Everybody thinks he's a nice guy. He's had a lot to say about me. So I'd love to see him say that to me in the cage, in the octagon.
What exactly has he been saying about you?
Oh, he was just saying some stuff before the fight. Oh, he's going to get his jaw broke. Oh, this and that. He's always talking shit, throwing shade. So I'd love to see him say it to my face. He's always got things to say to you guys in the media, but I've never seen him come up to me face to face. We were backstage at the press conference. He kept his head down the whole time. So he always has things to say. I'm a man of my word. I say things to people when I look them right in the eye and I say, let's do it. Let's go in the octagon. So, I'd love to see him, sometime next year. And, we've been at the top of the division for the longest. We're two guys that have never fought, that have been at the top of the division for years. So, I think that's the fight that makes the most logical sense next.
I know you say you don't want to make excuses, but bear in mind the inactivity that you've had to have over the last couple of years. Would you like to get back in there as soon as possible and try and compete more regularly to maybe help with those timing issues you mentioned?
Of course, I want to be an active fighter. I want to be a company man. I want to be a guy that, comes out here and puts on performances and shows for the UFC and makes them money as regularly as possible. I don't want to be getting sucker punched in the street and take more damage in the streets than I ever took in the octagon. So, I need to get my timing back, and I will. I'll go back to work. I know what I need to work on, and I held back a lot in that fight. So I don't even feel like I was in a fight. It feels like I just was in fucking a practice round. So, I'm a lot better than that, and I'm still 35 years young, and my best is yet to come.
Did Leon do anything in there that surprised you? Did his wrestling surprise you? He managed to get you down a couple of times and vice versa, but did he surprise you at all?
No, he didn't surprise me at all. I thought I had rounds 3, 4, and 5. Started out a little slow in the first 2 rounds, but those rounds still felt like toss-up rounds. But, he's the champion, so I know I had to go out there and take it from him. But, I'm very grateful for for bringing out Donald Trump tonight, the most famous person on the planet. You know, he's done so much for my career. You know, I'm thankful for the man he is, you know, and I'm thankful for what's to come. You know, I'm going to be on the campaign trail with him. I want to help him get reelected. You know, I want to make sure that there's no more rigged elections here in America. And, you know, we need to stop these wars. You know, that's the biggest thing. Look at all the wars going on. He kept peace in the Middle East. There was no war that he led us into. So he kept our borders safe. He kept inflation down. You guys can all hate him, but look at what he did for all your guys' bank accounts. Like, your bank accounts were so much better under him. Gas was $2 a gallon. You go to the grocery store and it's, you know, 300% uprise with Biden in office. So, you know, Trump did so many great things for this country, and, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what his next move is and getting him elected in 2024.
Last one from me, and I feel like I know what your answer will be on this, but, you know, Leon mentioned in the cage how your comments at the press conference really sort of emotionally hurt him, and he struggled with that, and the death of his father still weighs on him heavy. Do you maybe regret those comments and think, actually, okay, that was one time I maybe did go a little bit too far?
Not at all. Why would I have sympathy for a sex trafficker, someone who's impacted and hurt a lot of people's lives? You know, the truth always stings the worst in the world. So, you know, no, I don't feel bad about that at all. Let's talk about all the victims that he left behind that are surviving of the trauma and the turmoil that he put these people's lives through. So I don't feel bad at all. Why would I feel bad for a criminal?
You also had a lot of things to say about Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland obviously said a lot of things about you at the press conference the following day. He was in attendance. I'm curious if, say, he doesn't come out on top against Dricus, is that a fight you would be entertained at all, just considering the history of words between you two?
Of course. You know, he's been running his mouth, and, you know, nothing he say makes sense. Oh, Colby goes to the cops. Bro, you called the cops just a couple weeks ago, dude, when there was someone at your front door, and then you pistol whipped him in the middle of the street. So I think he needs to worry about what he's got to get through with the justice system first before he even talks about fighting. That guy's a train wreck, dude. That guy's for sure going to do something stupid in the next couple of years, and we're all going to be talking to the media about this and that, about how bad decisions he makes. So, of course, I'd love to shut his mouth. You know, there's a reason he couldn't cut it at 170. This is the toughest division in the UFC. Everybody knows that. Most people on planet Earth walk around this weight. So, you know, if Sean wants to go, let's do it. You know, that's an easy fight for me.
Well, going off of what you said a little bit ago, did you hear that he had to be escorted out of the arena because he jumped at Dricus?
I did not hear that, but I'm not surprised. That guy does not make very good decisions, and, you know, he's a liability to the company. You know, it's sad what he's done. You know, I feel bad that the UFC has to deal with him as the champion. You just don't know what he's going to say next or what he's going to do, and whose lives he's going to put at harm and risk. So that's embarrassing, dude. Like, you're at a professional event, dude. You're going to fight the guy in a couple months. What are you doing, man? Like, you're going to get your opportunity to do whatever you want to him. But, you know, Dricus is class act, and, you know, I got a lot of respect for him. I hope he knocks Sean unconscious.
Colby, right here in front of you. Looking at your expression when the decision was read, you seemed a bit surprised. At that moment in time, did you think that you had done enough?
I did. You know, I thought the third, fourth, and fifth round were mine. The fifth was mine easily. The fourth I thought was mine as well, too. And, you know, I thought I did enough in the third. You know, he didn't put any damage on me. He got a couple low kicks, but then I started checking him at the end. So, you know, I thought I had the win. I thought I did enough. But, you know, the judges have never favored me. They hate me because I support Trump. And, you know, everybody hates Trump in this building. So, you know, it is what it is. Life goes on.
You know, you did have the chance, it seemed like, in the cage afterwards to talk to or yell at back and forth with Leon's corner. I guess, what were you guys saying to one another back and forth there?
You know, he was just saying headshot dead. I'm like, bro, you don't even have guns in the UK. What are you fucking talking about, dude? You fucking bow to a king, dude. I don't fucking bow to nobody. We have fucking constitutional rights in America. So the guy is just blah, 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 blah. You know, he's got nothing fucking to say, you know, like, just the guy's fucking fake news. Everything he says that comes out of his mouth is just a fucking joke. So, you know, I didn't really have anything to say to him. I was just kind of laughing and just saying, dude, what are you fucking talking about, dude? You're fucking nobody. You never fought in a cage. You never been in the UFC octagon. What have you accomplished in your life that makes you think you can talk about one of the all-time greats of the welterweight division?
In the build-up to this fight, you said there wasn't anything that Leon Edwards had done during his reign that had impressed you. Has that changed now that you've shared the octagon with him?
No, nothing impressed me. I mean, honestly, I don't feel like I got in a fight. What did he do that separated himself from me? How did he show that he was like this level above me? He didn't show that tonight. He didn't knock me out. He didn't wobble me. He didn't fucking win every round decisively. You know, it was a competitive fight. Could have went either way. You know, it depends on what judges are sitting in the booth that night. We know how the judges are, so no, nothing impressed me. And the guy's boring, man. He's mumbling and drooling most of the time when he's talking. Like, the guy's not likable. He has no redeeming qualities. So, you know, I feel bad that the UFC has to deal with him, you know, in business and as their champion. You know, it's a pathetic excuse of a champion.
And this is the third time you've come up short in the undisputed title fights. Which one hurts the most? Is it this one or maybe the first one to Kamara?
Yeah, that's tough. You know, they all hurt the same. They all sting, you know, because I feel like I was right there and I had what it took to win. But I just, you know, took my foot off the gas pedal and didn't put it down as hard and believe in myself like I know I'm capable of doing. So, I don't know. They all sting, you know. They don't feel good, you know. They're all fucking, they all suck. But, you know, I got a great support system. You know, I got my coaches, Daniel Valverde, Cesar Carnero, amazing coaches. I got my friends, Michael Wall, have done so much for me. Michael Lehman's done an incredible job for me. You know, I got some great people in my corner. They're going to lift me back up and make sure that I come back from this stronger. And, you know, this is just a lesson learned, another lesson in life, man. That's what life's all about, learning lessons and coming back better from them.
A lot of people were wondering whether you said I was in character or thought it was a character. Can you just sort of clear up what it was?
Yeah, I never said that. I said, no, I said, you thought I was a character. No, I'm not a character, man. I say whatever I want, whenever I want. That's what bosses do, you know? So I just let him know. I thought, because he kept saying, in the lead up, everything's a character that Colby played. I said, yeah, it was a character? Yeah, tell me now it's a character. I don't play a character, man. I'm just myself. I don't give a fuck what people think of me. Why would I care what you guys think about me? All my haters in the world are not doing better than me. I'm up here headlining events, fucking selling pay-per-views, fucking getting the most famous person on planet Earth to come support me. So why would I give a fuck about what any of you say or think of me?
And a lot's been made about you don't really cut much weight to make 170. Any chance of a move down in weight class, or are you not really thinking about that in a minute?
You know, I don't want to be a weight bully. You know, that's everything I stand against. You know, I'm trying to be the new generation of fighter that just fights at his natural weight. You know, I don't want to cut weight. You know, I just want to feel good when I fight and you know, not have to get that big advantage. I feel like cutting that type of weight is legal cheating. So I don't want to be a cheater. I've never been a cheater, never done a steroid, never cheat when I'm in the octagon. I fight fairly and I do everything by the book. So, you know, it's not something I'm interested in. You know, I want to fight everybody at my weight at 170 and prove I'm the best in the world and come back stronger from this. If DC could be fighting and winning world titles at 41, there's no reason I can. That's still 6 years away from me. So, yeah, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. It doesn't matter how much you guys hate me.
Tonight, I know you said you would have liked to get a finish, but given everything that was surrounding this fight and all the emotions, I mean, how satisfied are you with the result tonight?
I don't know if it was one of my best performances, you know, but I thought it'd be a way more active fight. He just went on his back foot straight away, and I thought what's this guy doing? You know, after talking all that shit that he did this week, I thought he'd come out and do more, you know, but I feel like he's done it before. He gassed the fight up and just show up and just don't show up, you know.
The game plan that he used was pretty surprising, whatever it may actually have been. I mean, did you think early on, is he trying to bait me into something? Like, is this some kind of game? Like, what's going on here? Or when did you realize that this is just going to be what he does?
Yeah, 100%. Because I came out orthodox for the first round, you know, and I was waiting for him to charge forward like he normally does, and but I feel like the pressure got to him. I feel like the switching the stances, my range, it all just threw him off, you know. Just kind of went in like a little shell. It didn't come out of it, you know.
Yeah. How challenging was it for you as well to stay controlled, right? Because you talked about being controlled with the emotions of fight week, but then you got to go in there for 25 minutes and be controlled. Like, how challenging was it there to keep the proper mindset?
It was hard, you know, like even to the weigh-ins yesterday, I was like fuming and shaking, and but I was after speaking to my mom and my coaches, and just like fuck this guy basically, and just focus on yourself. This is what he wants. He wants you to come out there and fight emotional and like try to swing and take it down, you know. So I thought, okay, this is like, also what he said is fucked up, but let's switch it all off and go out and do your job, you know.
Yeah. The grappling exchanges, a lot of your takedowns seem to come right after his. Did you come into this fight saying, I want to show that I can grapple, or was it kind of responsive to be like, now I got to take him down?
No, it was definitely a plan, you know. I'm a great grappler. I just like striking, you know. But I think I took Usman down, never taken down before in his career. Took Colby down, out grappled him. So I feel like as as I'm learning and growing, I'll keep showing more and more of my skill set. I've always said I'm a mixed martial artist. I'm not a striker, you know. And tonight I was able to do that. I out-grappled two of the best grapplers in the division, you know. And as long I'll keep reigning and keep improving, you know.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about the exchanges between you guys. I mean, obviously, it is the fight game and people fight, but do you feel like there should be some kind of a limit, like an honor among athletes of like, hey, man, there's certain things that are just off limits that we don't touch with each other?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like kids are out of it. I feel like a murdered parent should definitely be out of it. It's just like I don't get how you use that as a way to sell fight or entertainment, you know. And I think that's like put him in the show. I think my reaction to it kind of like threw him off a bit. I felt no one weren't feeling what you're saying, you know. Like the fans turn against him and the media was like, what are you doing? I feel, but he's a coward and he's always been a coward, you know. Even he lost the fight, he keep making excuses that I won the fight. Even Usman knocked him out and broke his jaw. He's like, it was Mark's fault. It's always someone else's fault when he loses, you know.
Dana was here earlier. It kind of seemed like Bilal Muhammad would be next, being that he's the backup and all that. But Dana said, I'm not ready to make that decision right now.
Yeah.
Do you see it as like he should be next? Does that feel like an unfinished chapter, or do you feel like maybe there's other options?
Nah, there definitely other options, you know. I don't feel like Bilal should be next. You know, I've done it before. I've won like 10 fights in a row, didn't get a title shot. So what makes him different or more privileged, you know? So Colby's already skipped the line already. So let's see who's next. And but like I said, I am. This is Rocky's era. This is my era now, and I always keep reigning. Whoever's next, doesn't matter. You know, they're all similar styles anyway. All boxers, wrestlers, and this is what I'll build my career on it. You know, so whoever comes next is whatever. You know.
Did you happen to see Shafkat's performance? Because he seems to be the other one that people want to see you fight at some point.
I did. It looked alright. You know, I think Wonder Boy is kind of getting past it a little bit. He's like 40 years old, and obviously he went out there and did what he did. But if he's whoever's next, I don't care. You know. So like I said, this is my era. My aim now is to beat George record. That is my aim. You know, and so whatever get me there is whoever's next. You know.
There was a scuffle inside the crowd between Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis. I mean, did you get to hear about any of that?
I did, yeah. I saw the video. Fair play, you know. Like if Dricus talk shit, you should be able to back it up. And like I said, Sean's a buy, and he did what he did, you know. So fair play to him.